Did you know there are entire countries right now begging people to move there, offering thousands of dollars just to pack your bags and show up? It sounds like a scam, right? But in 2025, it's absolutely real. Across Europe, Asia, and even the United States, towns and entire regions are paying people, sometimes more than $30,000, to live in places that are breathtakingly beautiful but almost empty. Families are receiving monthly allowances, couples are being handed cash bonuses, and remote workers are being offered tax-free perks just for choosing a new zip code. Why would a government do this? Why would they literally hand strangers money to move in? The answer is both shocking and fascinating. Some towns are dying out because no one lives there anymore. Others need fresh workers and young families to keep schools open. And some? They're in a desperate fight for survival. Here's the best part. If you're willing to relocate, you could qualify for these incentives yourself. So which countries are paying the most? Which cities are secretly becoming hotspots for digital nomads? And most importantly, what's the catch? Stay tuned, because today we're revealing 10 countries that will literally pay you to live there in 2025. Number 10. Switzerland. Albinon Village, Valais. Switzerland might sound like one of the last places on Earth that would pay you to move there. After all, it's known for luxury watches, world-class skiing, and some of the highest living costs in the world. But hidden in the Swiss Alps is a small mountain village called Albinon, and in 2025, they're still offering a deal that sounds almost too good to be true. Albinon has fewer than 300 residents, and the local government is terrified that the town might vanish completely. To fight back, they launched an incentive program. If you're under 45 years old and agree to live there for at least 10 years, Albinon will literally pay you 25,000 Swiss francs, about $28,000, per adult, plus 10,000 francs per child. That means a young family of 4 could move to the Alps and instantly pocket nearly $80,000. But of course, there's a catch. You can't just collect the money and leave. You must purchase or build a home worth at least 200,000 francs and make Albinon your full-time residence. That's a serious commitment, but for many people, especially remote workers, it's a dream. Imagine waking up every day surrounded by snow-capped peaks, breathing some of the cleanest air in Europe, and knowing the village actually paid you to be there. For anyone tired of crowded cities and craving peace, Albinon offers both financial rewards and a once-in-a-lifetime lifestyle. But this is just the beginning. The offers get even crazier as we move down the list. Number 9. New Zealand, South Island towns. New Zealand has always been on the bucket list for travelers and digital nomads, but here's something most people don't know. Certain towns in the South Island are actually offering incentives to attract new residents. In 2025, some local councils are providing financial support and relocation grants, especially for skilled workers and families willing to settle in rural communities. Why? While cities like Auckland and Wellington are thriving, many smaller South Island towns face shrinking populations and critical labor shortages. To fix this, New Zealand has been giving out perks like moving assistance, tax breaks, and in some cases even cash incentives to make relocation more appealing. Take places like Invercargill and Timaru. They're peaceful, affordable, and surrounded by breathtaking landscapes. Families can benefit from financial support while enjoying some of the world's cleanest air, wide open spaces, and a slower pace of life. For remote workers, the appeal is huge. You could be sending emails with a view of snow-capped mountains or sandy beaches just minutes away. But here's the twist. These incentives often come with conditions. Some programs require a commitment to work in specific industries like healthcare, education, or agriculture. Others ask for a minimum residency period before you receive the full benefits. Still, the chance to live in one of the safest, most beautiful countries on Earth while getting paid to do it. That's a hard deal to ignore. Quick question. If New Zealand offered you money to move tomorrow, would you pack your bags? Drop your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Number 8. United States, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. Most people think of America as the land where you spend money, not where you get handed cash just for showing up. But here's the plot twist. In 2025, 2 US states are literally paying outsiders to move in. Let's start with Tulsa, Oklahoma. A few years ago, this city launched the now famous Tulsa Remote program. The deal? Move there, work remotely, and they'll hand you $10,000 in cash, plus free co-working space and even networking perks. The idea was simple: bring in fresh talent, boost the local economy, and put Tulsa on the map. And guess what? It worked. Thousands applied, and today the program is still going strong. For freelancers, digital nomads, or anyone tired of overpriced coastal cities, Tulsa feels like winning the lottery. Now jump to West Virginia, where things get even wilder. Through the Ascend West Virginia program, newcomers can receive up to $12,000, free outdoor recreation gear, and access to a lifestyle that's all about mountains, rivers, and endless trails. It's not just about money, it's about attracting people who value nature and want community. Think about it. Two very different corners of America, both dangling five-figure incentives just to get you to unpack your suitcase. It's bold, it's unusual, and it shows how even in a country as crowded as the US, some places are desperate for new energy. If you ever dreamed of small-town America with a modern twist, this might just be your golden ticket. Number 7. Canada, Saskatchewan and Alberta. Canada is often seen as one of the most welcoming countries on Earth. But in 2025, some provinces are going the extra mile, literally paying people to settle there. The focus? Areas like Saskatchewan and Alberta, where population density is low, yet opportunities are high. Through programs like the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot, RNIP, smaller Canadian communities are offering relocation assistance, tax incentives, and even housing perks to attract newcomers. These places aren't just looking for anyone, they're targeting skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and remote professionals who can breathe life into their towns. Take Saskatchewan, for example. Known for its wide-open skies and affordable lifestyle, it's been offering tax breaks and student loan forgiveness for those who relocate and stay long-term. Meanwhile, Alberta, famous for its mountains and energy industry, is pushing for new residents in smaller towns outside major cities like Calgary or Edmonton. The incentives range from financial bonuses to easier pathways toward permanent residency, which is often the ultimate prize for people seeking stability abroad. But beyond the money, the real reward might be the lifestyle. Imagine living minutes away from national parks, skiing in the winter, hiking in the summer, and still being part of one of the world's safest and most developed countries. For families, it means access to Canada's excellent healthcare and education systems. For young professionals, it's a chance to build a future while being supported by a community that truly needs them. Canada isn't just offering cash, it's offering belonging. Number 6. Japan, Tokyo suburbs and countryside. When people think of Japan, they picture neon lights in Tokyo, bullet trains racing through the country, and millions of people packed into one of the busiest cities on Earth. But step outside the big cities, and you'll find a completely different Japan. Villages where schools are shutting down, homes are abandoned, and populations are disappearing. To fix this crisis, the Japanese government is literally paying families and workers to leave Tokyo and relocate to rural areas. In 2025, the incentive is stronger than ever. Families who move from the capital can receive up to 1 million yen per child. That's around $7,000 each, plus additional grants for buying or renovating a home in the countryside. It doesn't stop there. In some towns, you could be handed free traditional houses, kominkas that have been empty for decades. All the government asks is that you live there, restore the property, and become part of the community. For young professionals, there's also startup support. Move your business or launch a company in rural Japan, and you may qualify for generous funding. The program isn't just about money, it's about balance. Japan wants to relieve pressure on its overcrowded capital while giving new life to towns filled with culture, tradition, and natural beauty. Imagine trading Tokyo's rush-hour trains for peaceful mornings surrounded by rice fields, mountains, and temples. For anyone willing to take the leap, Japan offers not just financial incentives, but also a chance to experience a slower, more authentic version of one of the world's most fascinating countries. Number 5. Greece, Antikythera and Ikaria. The Greek islands are usually associated with summer vacations, whitewashed houses, blue seas, and endless sunshine. But what if you could actually be paid to live that dream permanently? In 2025, two Greek islands, Antikythera and Ikaria, are offering financial incentives that sound straight out of a fantasy. On Antikythera, a tiny island between Crete and Kythera, the population has fallen so dramatically that the local church and government stepped in with a bold plan. New families who move there are offered €500 per month for 3 years, plus land and housing support. That's not just pocket money. It's a serious incentive to restart life in a place where the Mediterranean stretches endlessly in front of you. Then there's Ikaria, the island famous for longevity, where people often live past 90. Here, programs encourage newcomers by offering property deals and subsidies for young families who commit to staying. Imagine raising children in a community where everyone knows each other, where life is slow, healthy, and deeply connected to nature. Of course, life on a small island isn't for everyone. There are fewer modern conveniences, and the pace can feel worlds apart from city living. But for those craving simplicity and meaning, the financial help is just the start. The real reward is joining a community that treasures tradition, health, and togetherness. Greece isn't just offering money, it's offering a chance to step into a lifestyle that feels timeless, where every day looks like a postcard. Number 4. Portugal, Madeira and Fundão. Portugal has become one of Europe's hottest destinations for remote workers, retirees, and digital entrepreneurs. But in 2025, it's not just sunshine and low living costs pulling people in. Some towns are actively paying newcomers to settle down. Let's start with Madeira, the subtropical island known for its dramatic cliffs, warm climate, and growing community of digital nomads. Through the Madeira Digital Nomad Village project, newcomers get tax incentives, networking opportunities, and even subsidized co-working spaces. While it may not be cash handed directly into your pocket, the savings on taxes and professional perks can easily add up to thousands each year, especially for freelancers and startups. Then there's Fundão, a small town in central Portugal. Here, the government has launched programs to attract remote workers and entrepreneurs by offering financial support for relocation, reduced housing costs, and even integration assistance. The goal? Transform sleepy towns into vibrant innovation hubs. For young professionals, this means an affordable European lifestyle with the bonus of being welcomed into a community that genuinely values new residents. Portugal sweetens the deal with more than just money. The cost of living is far lower than in Western Europe, healthcare is solid, and the lifestyle, think fresh seafood, coastal hikes, and sunny terraces, feels like a permanent holiday. For those tired of overpriced cities and craving balance, Portugal is rolling out the red carpet. The message is clear: bring your skills, your laptop, or your family, and the country will help cover the rest. Number 3. Spain, Ponga and Asturias. Spain is usually known for bustling cities like Madrid and Barcelona, but tucked away in the northern mountains are villages that are almost empty. And in 2025, some of them are so desperate to attract new residents that they're literally offering cash bonuses just for moving in. Take the town of Ponga, nestled in the Asturias region. Here, couples who settle permanently can receive €3,000 up front, plus an additional €3,000 for every child they bring along or have while living there. For a young family, that's thousands of euros in support, simply for choosing a quieter life in the Spanish countryside. Why the generosity? These communities are shrinking fast. With younger generations leaving for the big cities, villages like Ponga risk becoming ghost towns. The local government hopes the cash incentives will breathe life back into schools, reopen shops, and keep traditions alive. And the lifestyle? Think fresh mountain air, peaceful surroundings, and centuries-old architecture. Asturias is also famous for its natural beauty, rolling green hills, dramatic cliffs, and some of the best hiking in Spain. Add to that Spain's strong healthcare system, affordable cost of living, and access to EU benefits, and suddenly this little-known program feels like a golden opportunity. Of course, life here is quieter than in Madrid's buzzing streets or Barcelona's nightlife. But for families, freelancers, or anyone craving community, the financial perks are just the beginning. Spain is offering more than cash. It's offering a chance to write a new chapter in a place full of history and heart. Number 2. Ireland, Donegal and Mayo. Ireland is famous for its rolling green hills, cozy pubs, and friendly locals. But in 2025, some rural regions are adding an extra reason to move: cash and grants for newcomers. Counties like Donegal and Mayo, located along Ireland's stunning Wild Atlantic Way, are encouraging people to settle in their towns by offering financial help to renovate old homes and set up a new life. These areas are struggling with the same problem many small towns in Europe face. Younger generations have left for bigger cities, leaving behind abandoned houses and declining populations. To turn things around, Ireland is offering relocation grants that can reach tens of thousands of euros, especially for those willing to restore traditional cottages or invest in local communities. But beyond the money, the real treasure here is lifestyle. Imagine living on the rugged Irish coast, where cliffs drop into the Atlantic and small villages still celebrate centuries-old traditions. Remote workers can benefit from Ireland's strong internet infrastructure while enjoying evenings in quiet towns that feel a world away from crowded cities. Families, on the other hand, get a safe, welcoming environment with schools that thrive when new residents arrive. Donegal and Mayo aren't just selling a financial deal, they're selling the Irish dream: community, beauty, and a slower, more meaningful pace of life. And with the government backing it up with real incentives, it's a rare chance to move somewhere magical without breaking the bank. Number 1. Italy, Sardinia, and Calabria. Italy is the dream destination for millions. World-class food, timeless culture, and landscapes straight out of a painting. But here's the twist: in 2025, certain Italian regions aren't just inviting you to move there, they're actually paying you to do it. Let's start with Sardinia, a Mediterranean island famous for its turquoise waters and ancient history. Some of its smaller villages are offering relocation grants of up to €15,000 to new residents. The deal usually comes with conditions. You must commit to living there full-time, and in many cases, you're encouraged to renovate an old property. For Italy, it's a win-win. Villages get revived, and newcomers get both money and a slice of paradise. Then there's Calabria, in the southern tip of Italy. Here, certain towns are providing relocation packages that can include monthly stipends for up to 3 years. The goal? To repopulate communities that have seen entire generations leave in search of work elsewhere. Imagine receiving regular payments just for living among olive groves, historic piazzas, and some of the best food in the world. Of course, there are challenges. Life in these regions is slower, jobs can be limited, and the programs often require long-term commitment. But for digital nomads, remote workers, or anyone looking for a reset, the idea of being paid to enjoy la dolce vita is hard to resist. Italy isn't just topping this list for the cash. It's here because it combines financial perks with a lifestyle so rich, so beautiful, that moving there feels less like a decision and more like destiny. Now you tell me, if you had to choose just one of these places, where would you pack your bags and move tomorrow? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to read your picks. And if you enjoyed this, check out our last video. You'll find even more surprising opportunities waiting there. We put a lot of effort into creating these videos, so please support us with a quick subscribe. It's just one click, but it means the world to us.